Welcome back, everyone, and I do mean everyone. It's Forgotten Circus. So I'm going to be doing my Agatha all along episode 1 and 2 spoiler review. Um, what the hell did I just watch? What did I just watch? It's all right. Let me tell you something. This show is overly very sexual, and let me start by this: if you have a child that is under the age of 18, they don't need to be watching this, especially the first episode. And you know what? The first episode, how are you going to have a filler as your first episode? See, I was going to give this a shot, and I'm still going to. I don't know about this, man. I don't know if I can do it. I don't even. This may be one that I can't do for y'all. I'll give it one more episode, and I may have to cash out because this it's it's just not for me. Okay, so no fault of the actors and actresses. You only deal with what you're given, but you got it goes in several twists and turns. Like the beginning, episode 1, like obviously Agatha has no powers. She's now Agnes. We know the whole thing. And whoever says that you don't need to watch WandaVision to understand this, they a damn lie. You definitely do. It's going to make no sense because it wasn't making any sense to me in the beginning either. And I watched WandaVision. I know everything about Scarlet Witch. And boy, the name drop and woo, using that cloud of Scarlet Witch to boost this show without Scarlet Witch. You better find some way. And I don't even want Elizabeth Olsen Scarlet Witch in this show at all. Like, keep her separate. I know it's got to tie in eventually, but yeah, it did start off like this kind of crime mystery thriller with Agnes is now a detective. And, she's not very good at her job because she's very abusive to suspects, punching suspects in the face, which I found kind of funny. And that was kind of cool, the whole. And then it takes this weird turn of like, so we're at Westview and all right. I know she's trying to do the Jersey accent. I'm from Jersey. That ain't the accent. North, central, or south. It ain't. It's not. So, and I don't see anybody with the Jersey accent at all. So you can just stop trying with that because it's not working. So, um, yeah, she finds a victim in the woods, finds this little what do you call him? Charm. And it's cool. That part's cool. I'm like, oh, okay, that's working. This is cool. And then it just takes this weird turn. Like they go to the library, and then apparently this person supposedly checked out a book. Woo. Yeah, we know what that one was. And everything's like burn up in the library, but for some odd reason they keep that section in the library that's burn up. She's doing her detective work. Apparently there was a fire there. Don't they usually like remove that stuff or put like crime scene around? Yeah, didn't see that too much, but yeah, okay. Little thing, being a little nitpicky. But there's all these sexual innuendos. Like she tells the chief of police to eat her ass. I don't think this is appropriate. I mean, you got Disney Plus all over this. See, you'll do stuff like this to push a certain agenda, and you're definitely focusing on a certain, how can I say, certain crowd. That's so obvious what you're pitching. But you got all this raunchy stuff in there. It's not classy. It's just there's a time and a place for that, and this show isn't. I get it, they're witches, they do evil, but you can tell where they're going with it. And then yeah, she's playing like this good cop, bad cop. So somebody tries to break into her house. She captures him, and there's this weird sexual tension between her and, spoiler alert, the other witch. There's weird sexual tension. They're sending out all these innuendos out of nowhere in the first episode, and so yeah, so let's see. I do like how when they pulled up at a certain house, there was a pothole. They got that right about Jersey. Yes, it is the land of the potholes, man. You can fall into them things and end up in a Middle Earth or maybe Hollow Earth. That's how deep the potholes are. That is true. I did like that. That's funny. But so Agatha can't remember anything. They get to this point in this episode where it speeds up in a weird way, and then I guess she catches the dude and then and locks him up in the closet. Like we got some BDSM going on everywhere, and that dude's soft as. And I'll get into the random stranger guy, but yeah. So she can't remember anything, and then starts to remember a little bit. Starts to write something like because she writes dark and H, and I'm like, they are just using all of Wanda's shit to drive this show. Why don't nix the show and just have Wanda, just have Scarlet Witch movie? Why are we wasting our money and time on this? You're going to run into the She-Hulk thing. And let me tell you something. All them little shills that are on there, because I looked at the reviews. Yo, a lot of them is bots. Check that out. Some of the reviews and some of the stuff, like, bro, there ain't no way. Are you watching the same show? I get it. Everybody likes it's an acquired taste, but the real review is going to come out. We, the real reviewers. Your little shills and your little bots that you got working for your company, Disney. Yeah, you slick with it. It was how fast they popped up too, and how if you look at them, you don't see any other. They've never reviewed anything else. Okay. Yeah. So chase him in the police. She keeps saying I'm a cop, and I'm gonna get over that. But there's a part in here where she just totally overacting. Catherine Hahn or whatever her name. She's overacting. It's just too much. It's too flamboyant. It's just too much. You know what I mean? I know Agatha's quirky and like, but it's like trying too hard on it. Trying very hard. It's very overacting, and it's very annoying actually. And honestly, this episode was weird. And what is up with all the dark places? Does anybody use lights in these buildings? Like even the office door in the daytime was still dark. And the houses are dark. Everything's so dark. And I get they're witches and stuff, but like no light comes into these places. Like we can't turn an extra lamp on. Why don't you use some LEDs? I mean LEDs. You can buy some LEDs. Yeah. And that weird thing with the wardrobe change, and she's taking all her stuff off, and she's got what does it say, baddie on the back or naughty on the back of her pants, and she's got all these clothes on. And she's like undressing in front of the girl, and the girl's like sitting there, like this show is very sexual, and they're definitely pushing agenda. The show is woke, but I will get into some good. So, well, I'll get to that, but then. The name dropping Wanda, and then it turns into Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Kind of had the Buffy the Vampire Slayer feel. Where was Spike at? Ugh. And this scene with the girl on girl stuff and how they're talking to each other, and then slicing it, another BDSM, some weird, y'all on some weird shit, Disney. This is some weird shit. There's going to be an investigation open up about y'all. I'm telling you eventually. But then it just ends, and like I didn't even like this first episode. It started off good the first 5 minutes, but it just went to this weird thing. And then random guy, which like in the next episode she finds out she locked him up in the closet, so she's back as Agatha, but she still doesn't have her powers. She's starting to act like Agatha, but like overly acting Agatha. Yeah, and the random guy, which is a part of it, they want to get this covenant up so they can go down the witch's road. But he keeps saying his name and they block it off. Because there's going to be this big reveal. Yo, I swear to God, I will flip my shit if that dude is Mephisto. I will flip my shit. Why do I have this hunch or this feeling that kid is going to be Mephisto? Oh, I will flip my shit, Disney, if you do that. Please do not do that. Out of all the talent and actors and people that can play Mephisto, don't do it this way. Please. Oh, but they probably will. I have this feeling, and I know I may be jumping the gun a little bit too much. I'm like, oh, Circus, it's going to be somebody else. If they freaking do it, I swear to God, if they do it. And then Scarlet Witch's name keeps getting dropped and dropped and dropped. And then it was getting good, but her whole Agatha's whole so they're getting the witch Avengers team up, witches assemble. That the montage when they're talking to him and the whole it had its fun parts, especially with the older witch that was that they were trying to you know trying to see if she was really witch, and then she really was, and then she wasn't having it. And I do like how she's like kooky. So that's funny. You got like a kooky witch. There's some good parts in the I'm talking the last like 20 minutes of the last 20 minutes of the second episode is why I'll watch it. I'll give it a third episode. Maybe it looked like it was trying to go in a good direction with the Witch's Road. So the singing montage at first I thought was kind of corny because they get all the witches, they recruit all these witches, and they need a green witch, they need a blood witch, they need this witch so they can all walk the witch's road. And there were some funny parts in this, like she recruits somebody that's not even a witch, which is she was a gem in this show. I just want to watch it for that 70s show mom. She was hilarious. She's not even a witch, and she was in there and they're singing the little chant, the incantation, and she's like, "Am I supposed to know this?" And I don't think any of them are real, because Agatha doesn't want to pull the other girl because they got some weird sexual tension. So, I mean, they got to get some stuff out. I guess they made that very clear. Oh, they made that very clear. They wanted you to know that these two need to get it on and get that tension out. Wow. But she's just sitting there and she's all happy. She's like, got invited to a party and she's all peaceful and she's not even a witch, which is so funny. They're just bringing her on this. And I'm surprised that the spell worked. So you had that whole thing. It's that part alone. And even with the random guy, please don't be Mephisto. Please don't be Mephisto. Disney, why are you doing this? But even in that part, he was kind of caught on. But he's like too in your face with it. But there were some good parts with him even there, and like how she was like kind of saying, "Oh, it's my pet." It's that certain things like that. It's my pet that they were saying. But y'all into some weird shit over there at Disney, man. The heck is wrong with y'all, man? You guys dress up in gimp suits when you watch this at the same time too? Oh man. Remember, Zed is dead, baby. Zed is dead. But yeah. But I'm not digging how they're trying to push their agenda. And I heard there's a lot of things. I don't even want to get into that because whatever is to each your own, however you want to live and however you want to be, as long as you're not doing any malicious acts or anything like that. I get it. I get it. But this you're forcing it. You're forcing it. And me seeing this, I just can't. We need Wanda back, man. We need a well written, because if you're doing all right, so if you're doing all this because there was blood in this, oh, they like that. They like that when the two females are fighting with that weird shit. They like, yeah, they were getting all close and slicing each other and all that and licking hands and all. Like, what is going on in the show? Licking the blood off of hands? Yo, if you doing this, why can't we get a Midnight Sun to just go all in? Might as well. If you're doing this on a Disney Plus where kids have access to, the younger generation have access to, but you let this one go, right? No problem. I bet you there'll be no restriction on that when somebody's logging in. This is. I'll give it one more episode, but I'm telling y'all, my subscribers, and I know y'all are loyal to me, and I really do appreciate it. But I'm on the fence about this one. So let me know if you want me to keep going, or I mean, I got the Penguins coming out, so I'm going to stay good, and I still got my Lord. Now I'm looking at Rings of Power and like, whoa, like Rings of Power, you have just moved up a notch. At least you got some stuff I can follow and kind of. It's one of those. It's what you. I don't recommend you watch it, and I'm not like knocking. Like, I mean, you can if you want. You can if you want. Let me know in the comments and everything if you want me to keep going with this one. But it's making me a little uncomfortable. Put it that way. A little uncomfortable. I don't like to force agendas. So, I don't know. But that was my episode 1 and 2. I maybe not told you much about it, but maybe you get my drift on where this show is going. It could bounce back because it did look fun when they were singing their little. I didn't even mind the little musical montage. I was like, hey, they actually hit notes. This looked fun. I was getting in there like, okay. You know, witches, row, witches. But then it was just like, and then I thought back like, wait, hold up. Everything prior to that was a mess. And it was not something that I can get down with. It was yeah, you can't just keep forcing this, Disney. I don't know. Y'all are weird. Y'all are freaking weird. And it's getting weirder and it's getting worse. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I want everyone to subscribe. And I do mean everyone.